Hey folks, today I am in Melbourne and bringing you along to a real treat. We're going to Attica, which is meant to be one of Australia's best restaurants as of 2019. We've got some reasons to celebrate, so it's a special treat tonight. Thanks for joining me as I travel the world, going from fine dining through to street food and local specialties, all in an effort to find the world's best seafood. So I was really excited to head to Attica. This restaurant is famous for using native and indigenous ingredients. Even the handtails there are infused with local eucalyptus oil and the leaf there, just so you know what's up. Now we went for the tasting menu. Everything was beautifully paired. We got a pairing of wines and also a pairing of non-alcoholic drinks for us to share. And it really was something special when a place like this goes for such a narrowed down theme of only using local and indigenous ingredients. It can go two ways. It could be amazing, or it could be kind of a misstep where you're doing things just to be dogmatic rather than it actually giving the best flavors. I'm happy to say this was all fantastic. Let's start off with the mixed appetizer.
Fondant infused with pepper leaf and pepper berry. If you are a bit sensitive to pepper, just stay away from the whole peppercorn. To the right, finger lime jam with fresh finger lime peels on the top. You have a smoked egg paste with beetroot oil. Moving along to the white puree, this is made from the world's largest pine nut native to Queensland. It's bunya nut, with some native oregano on the top. Smoked macadamia salt at the bottom. Got some native spice kimchi, pickled emu apples or munchies. And then some ants. These are green tree ants from Maringrida in the Northern Territory. In the centre, some pearl oyster meat from Broome, Western Australia, and some lemon and forest anise, and house-made sour cream with wattle seed miso covered in some wattle seeds as well. So you have your leaf that the chefs picked in the garden today. You've got the spoons there, use your hands, and there's no wrong way to do it, just have fun.
That's great, thank you.
Is the garden here? No.
So this is a little bit like going to eat at a Korean barbecue. You get your vegetable leaf and then make a little sandwich out of it. Just you have the option of adding green tree ants to the meal, which is a little unusual. You may not be surprised, it's not my first time to eat ants. Recently on a trip to Laos, we had them as well. But stick around because we're going to get some even more interesting local ingredients coming up. Now this dish was called Happy Little Vegemites. It was basically a bread scroll with a super buttery, cheesy, Vegemite-y spread in there. If you don't know what Vegemite is, do yourself a favor and go buy some and try it in moderation.
Inhabitants of Ripponlea, with each tile representing a different time in the history. So, starting with the pink tile there, that's our 1550s Indigenous tile, paying tribute to Australia's first people. In there we have a pepperberry leaf cream, native fruits such as ryeberries, sunrise lime and blood lime. To the left is our 1880s English tart, representing the English migration into Australia. So this one is English breakfast tea cream, fresh pear, and then warm black pudding on the top.
Okay.
And then the top is our 1930s Jewish tart. So Ripponlea is home to one of the largest Jewish populations outside of Europe. So this is a bit of a play on a chicken and matzo ball soup.
Okay.
Tart shells made from matzah and schmaltz. Inside is a corn custard, chicken floss, and a chicken soup jelly over the top.
Is it kosher? Let's say yes.
So. You'd think so, wouldn't you? I'd start with the warm black pudding and then go around clockwise from there.
Okay.
Finishing on the pink one. Do it in one bite, otherwise I promise you're going to make a huge mess.
Now that's a nice looking sized shell. Oh my god, there's no scallop in there, but it was delicious. So this is a bagel with emu liver parfait and some kind of jelly. And this, and I still can't believe this is a thing, is saltwater crocodile ribs in a honey glaze. They say everything tastes like chicken, right? Well, crocodile doesn't exactly taste like chicken, but it is somewhere between fish and chicken, the texture and flavor. The honey marinade was really light and actually paired really nicely, and I have to say the different paired juices and alcohols for the meal really paired so nicely. It was often like oils that were then mixed with different sodas and stuff. This next one was a standout dish. This is hand-picked crab with wattle bread. Just beautiful. The meat was just perfect with a cream of that also had a seafood flavor to it. This one is kangaroo.
This is salted red kangaroo.
course it is.
Next week we have some finger lime. With this you can add some acidity to your dish, and we also have some sea salt with dry coastal seafood. So you can season your own potato. Don't eat the kelp raw.
Don't. Okay. I would eat kelp. What's wrong with that? It's a potato. Now this little guy that looks a lot like a lobster is actually a marron, and for my money they're even better. The flavor and texture is so much milder. Google it, find out what they are. They're smaller but so delicious, and it is an indigenous Australian shellfish. Now for the pre-dessert, you actually go to a fallout shelter. It's kind of a cool concept. This is basically if the world keeps going as it is and we, destroy the environment, how we might end up living. So it's all based around that kind of a theme. And this was actually burgers and beer with a little museum of how life used to be before we destroyed the environment. As well as the burger and beer, there was a little vending machine that you could help yourself to using the Fallout token that they gave you. And all of those were handmade treats as well, including, I think it was like a pork crackling and different candies that were made on the day. When you returned to your table, dessert was served. Well, the first of 3 desserts. First one was a whole finger lime with sugar bag honey and a cream on top, and that was served with a cider. And then this lamington, which is a classic Australian dessert of cake covered in chocolate and then coconut, was again actually decorated with ants. In terms of the damage, being Australia's top restaurant, it comes at a top price. This comes in at $295 per person, and the wine pairing is $185. Now note, the Australian dollar is much lower than the US, so it doesn't translate to quite that much, but it is still an extremely expensive meal, best saved for a special occasion. I hope you enjoyed that. Even as an Australian, there were a lot of ingredients there that I had never tried before. A real amazing and gourmet experience. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.
Attica! 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 Attica!